Morning, I hope everyone's well. It's Easter weekend, I think it's Saturday. Very typical part of farming, unfortunately, as much as we try to avoid it. I've got some poorly chickens. Oh, can't show you. These coop has got some sort of respiratory infection. It was very sudden onset actually. One of the Dorking girls just presented really poorly the other morning when I got up and came out and checked the coops. I'll insert a video here, but it is a bit upsetting to see because she was clearly struggling to breathe. I took her to the vet. I know potentially not a very farmery thing to do, but I won't watch an animal suffer. I didn't know that she was quite at dispatch point. And these birds are worth money at the end of the day. So each of these birds' eggs are worth around £2.50 each as a hatching egg. So over her lifetime, the birds are worth a couple of £1,000s to me each. So taking any emotion out of it, they are worth a substantial sum over their laying lifespan, if you like. So to just dispatch when not necessary, the birds cost money in the first place. It's not free to hatch your own eggs. You still have to pay for the electricity to hatch. You have to pay for the feed the chick from. So there's all those costs involved, and the heat obviously for them. If you buy in a chicken, which is what I did do with these girls in the far coop, then looking at sort of between £30 and £50 a bird, depending on breed and age and size. So yeah, there is an investment. Chickens aren't free. And equally, I still need to learn. So I've had chickens for a very long time. That's fine. I know various parts about health and medicine and stuff, but I'm no vet. So by a very long way. So in my opinion, it's still worth paying the vet's fees to go and learn. I need to learn what I'm looking at. I'm learning what I'm looking for in an illness. So I separated that Dorking lady, obviously because she was looking very poorly. The rest of the flock were looking fine at that point. So I was suspecting maybe something cardiac, just because it was such a sudden onset and she was so poorly. But yeah, I managed to book a vet appointment for the afternoon. That was the earliest I could get there and the earliest appointment I had. I had to go out to a meeting for a new customer. By the time I got back to collect her to take her to the vets, unfortunately she'd passed away. This unfortunately is not uncommon with chickens. They are quite prone to dying. Yeah, and where there's livestock, there's dead stock, unfortunately. That is just part of being with animals. So after I'd found her passed away, I then went and, I don't know why I keep saying passed away, dead. I then came to check the rest of my flock, obviously, and I noticed a couple of the other chickens and Buddy the cockerel, the light-sisters cockerel, were looking a bit peaky. Their eyes were looking a bit leaky. Buddy's eye was a bit swollen. So having cancelled the appointment for the dead chicken, I then phoned up and made another appointment, and I just took one of the birds down. I didn't need to take all the sick ones down. That would be pointless, stressful for the birds, stressful for the vets. So yeah, I took her down, and they're not a specialist poultry vets. They do deal with poultry there, but they're not a specialist poultry vet. But they were brilliant. They checked them over very thoroughly for bird flu, obviously, which it is not, I'm very happy to say. It shouldn't be, the coops are covered, so yeah, they should be well protected from that. But it is some sort of respiratory infection. We don't know what sort of respiratory infection. So what they've done is they've given me some liquid oral antibiotics to give them. It's a bit challenging. It is an individual dose for each bird, so catching them all and getting them all to open their beaks to take some oral antibiotics has been quite challenging. I can't film it, I'm so sorry. I need at least another pair of hands as it is without trying to film as well. And they just knocked the camera over if I tried to put it on a stand because they ran around like loonies whilst I'm doing it. I am managing to get it done, but it is challenging. I had help the first night. One of my friends was over, so he very kindly helped me by holding the chickens so I could open their beaks and put the antibiotics down. They are looking much better, and I do have some different antibiotics coming in on Tuesday. Of course, it's bank holiday weekend, isn't it? So yeah, I really struggled to get hold of antibiotic I can just put in the water, which will be far easier and far more effective. There is a 7-day egg withdrawal for the antibiotics I'm using currently. Sorry, I know, shocking, I'm just so tired. There's been a lot of stress this week. Yeah, so there's a 7-day withdrawal for the eggs, so I'm just putting them straight into a bin bag. But yeah, they are looking better. There's one cream-crested leg bar I'm a bit worried about. I did give her a slightly stronger dose of the antibiotics today. Because I've only got such a small amount of antibiotics, I'm only giving what is absolutely necessary. And I haven't treated all the birds today because I've got a couple I'm worried about and the rest of the flock are actually looking okay. So I think the rest can wait until Tuesday when I get the antibiotics in for that. Once I've got those antibiotics in, I will also treat the Buff Orpingtons. Sorry, I've moved away, haven't I? I've been wandering as I speak. I will also treat the Buff Orpingtons and the other coop of Light Sussex. They're not showing any signs of any illness at the moment, but their coops are adjacent. And whilst I do have a hospital pen, I don't have a hospital pen for 22 chickens. So, you know, they've all had exposure to the bug, whatever it is now anyway. So yeah, they're staying in their coop. I will just separate if I get a really poorly one. There's one, as I say, there's one cream-crested leg bar who's looking a bit ropey, bless her. Hopefully she'll perk up. These antibiotics do perk them up really quickly when they kick in. They start to look a lot perkier after sort of an hour or so. It doesn't cure it in that time, obviously, but they just feel better. So I'm just going to keep an eye on her, and I will separate her if needs be. Just so she isn't getting beaten up really as much as anything. It's not really an infection issue at the moment. They all are in the same coop anyway. But yeah, hopefully they'll all get better. Buddy's certainly looking a lot better now. His eye's looking a lot better. He still sounds a bit bubbly, but other than that, hopefully he's all right. So yeah, a bit of a rough week here this week. Never like to see them poorly. Don't like to see any animals suffer. But I think they're going to be okay. I think apart from that cream-crested leg bar who's got a question mark over at the moment, I think the rest of the flock are going to be okay. And I'll be glad once I've got them all treated on Tuesday. All right guys, take care.